Hi guys, my name is Sean. I'm a houseplant enthusiast from Jakarta, Indonesia. I'm at the Bogor Botanical Garden and it's actually quite confusing here. I just arrived. There seems to be some exhibition going on here, like the Nepenthes. I've only got about 5 hours here and it's super hot. And I searched on Google Images on this botanical garden and I just wasn't impressed. It seemed like this is a place where people come and take selfies of themselves and have family picnics rather than to enjoy the plants. But I may be proven wrong, so hopefully I'll discover some really cool areas here, some cool exhibits to show you. Crossing my fingers. Because the shuttle bus is too expensive, it's 20,000 per trip, and I don't really know how to ride bicycles that well. I'm not very good at it. Decided to walk. It's going to be a pretty long walk. So quick trivia, this place was founded in 1817 by the Dutch East Indies. And it is actually the oldest botanical garden in Southeast Asia, and it comprises of 87 hectares, which is huge. So I'm going to be all sweaty by the time I'm done with this place. So we're in the Taman Mexico side of the park. This is actually a enclosure for cacti and succulents. There are a lot of agave here. There's some really big, beautiful specimens, some cacti just growing outdoors. And this must be doing really well here, considering the fact that it does rain every day here in Bogor area. And I see some bromeliads there. What are you doing here? You don't belong here. And then look at that outdoor area where people are just taking pictures. And I believe there's an event called Glow here, where it's like a nighttime lit up event, which we're not gonna be here for. But look at how nice that is. I feel like I'm being transported to another world. Alright, so I'm not sure if this is encouraged or even allowed, but people were scratching their names on this opuntia. So sorry you had to endure that, but this one looks like it's about to fruit or flower. It's interesting to see how their older stem gets really woody like this. Huh. And that one is huge too, the cacti in the back. I often see it, I'm not sure of their species exactly, but I usually see them in much smaller pots. And they look so happy here. The variegated agave is very commonly used for landscaping. And look at that. It's just layers and layers of cacti and succulent. I'm actually going to take you guys into this glass house. And just so you know, this is actually my first time here. I don't know if I mentioned that earlier in the video, but I guess that's important to know. Let's see if this is open. Nope. Okay. I guess it's not open, though. We can look at it quickly from here. Unfortunately, it doesn't look very well kept here. What is going on? And that tree should not belong in there. Yeah, I'm not impressed by this. This could have been something amazing, actually. Or even if you wanted to just use this as a cafe, like a cacti cafe, like a bohemian style, would be pretty nice. But yeah, I'm actually, searching high and low for spaces where I can do a plant store and nursery concept for a long time. And I've had so many visions, so many ideas, so much creativity, and so much passion to share the love of plants that it makes me feel sad when I see a space that is not being properly utilized. So this is actually pretty nice area here. My goodness, it's beautiful. And again, there are people taking photos here. But I guess this place is not really for, there's not too many species in diversity. There's a plant profile here. I don't really understand. Oh, there's an English version down here. So I guess the placard is referring to this Yucca gloriosa. And this is from North America. So color me impressed, but there are a lot of signs for these, and I guess you could scan there to read up more about the plants. Yeah, I love that. Okay, so this is a pretty legit botanical garden so far. I'm impressed, actually. We are in the aquatic plant section here, and there are lots of cool little aquatic plants here. And they do have these signs, so that's interesting. There's a bed of Certosperma just hanging out here. I guess this is to show that they are actually aquatic plants. They like to be constantly moist and wet and full sun. But not all species, I guess. I've seen some that are just as happy in pot and in bright indirect light. And that one is the Lassia spinosa, and it originates from Papua. I have a feeling that it's an aeroid, and it's really, really nice. Surprised to see that it's aquatic. I've seen this sold in pots, to be honest. This is the Echinodorus cordifolius, an aquatic plant. I've seen these around in landscaping, but I never knew the name for it. Look at the flower there, how cute. These guys look like they're prolific growers, and they look like they propagate themselves. Now, I can't remember this plant, but I have it, and it puts out these berries, these really interesting flowers and berries, and the leaves look really interesting, and it's nice to see them grown here in deep shade. This probably means that they like to be in a bit more shade than I have provided. I've actually given mine a little bit of direct sunlight. Reading the placard, this plant says it's the Salica affinis Griff, and it's supposed to originate from Singapore. And look at how cool the branches are. They look a little bit like bamboo, and then they become these spiny looking things. I think this is to defend itself from being eaten. Really interesting. They look like many different plant traits combined together. Almost like bamboo-like, but it's tropical. Alright, so we're in the palm section, and I'm not gonna really go into details on each of these. Just to quickly show you the varieties, and there are some really tall ones in the background. There's some that look more shrubby over there, more dense. Interesting, there's huge ones back there. And this one's got really hairy trunk. And it spans all the way back there. So if you're trying to understand different species of palm or trying to get them for your landscaping, maybe this is a good place for you to view all of them and figure out which ones you like. They usually can take full sun. And there's a giant tree, look at that, right in the center of the frame. How majestic is that? It's got such a beautiful base. So that tree is a Ceiba pentandra, and it's supposed to grow to the height of 20 meters, but I have a feeling that what we're looking at is way higher than that. And they actually bear, I don't know if it's fruits, it's a kind of fiber that is used for stuffing in mattresses and pillows. And the bark of the tree is used for traditional medicine. Will you look at these traveler's palm? They are so massive. And what's really interesting is that they are actually grown in a clump, and you can see that there are tons of babies down below. Normally we only see one of them because the babies get chopped up due to space constraints. But as you can see here, space is not an issue for them. Look at that, oh my god, I want to take one home so bad. Hello little babies. So this tree is really fascinating. It's called the Damar tree, or the Agathis borneensis. And I'm actually cheating because the placard's right next to me. But look at the leaves. They have really beautiful, glossy, new leaves. And unfortunately, this tree is endangered because it is widely used for woodworking, for furnitures and such, and it's known for its very, very high quality. This is native to Borneo. And also deforestation means that their natural habitat is in decline. So it looks like they have some amazing orchid section here. This is one of the greenhouses, and then there's quite a few more. There are a few buildings, and this is one of the more modern and properly maintained building in here. But unfortunately, the sign on the door, it says, if there's nothing urgent or important, do not enter. I don't know if I should enter or not. I guess, I don't know, I might get kicked out of here, but this is worth looking in here to see briefly what it looks like. There's totally no one to serve or to guide us along, but there are a lot of orchids here. Some terrestrial ones, some of them were in planters back there. Yeah, I don't want to stay out here for too long. I don't want to get in trouble, but this is actually a very nice building. Look at that. The elevated walkway. This has the potential to be more than just an orchid section. Actually, this would make such a nice layered tropical forest greenhouse. Look at these beauties here. Their flowers have flowers. This is so interesting. I don't know the species. I don't see any labeling nearby. And the leaves glisten in the sun. Look at this philodendron, I believe giganteums. It looks so happy here. They make such beautiful landscape. And they're very, very inexpensive here. So I was chased out of that building. A security guard did came by and told me that the public orchid area is this way. But he doesn't know who I am, does he? Kidding. Calathea in bloom. There's some Phytonias down here on the ground, and some Dieffenbachias. And back there, well, I really wanted to show you that Heliconia, but I can't get closer, so I'm going to zoom in. Really, really vibrant colors on those. A bed of Homalomina erubescens. Very, very beautiful leaves and beautiful red petiole. They're shiny. And look at those lines on the leaves. These are very easy to grow, and they can take a lot of conditions. They can take also a fair bit of direct sunlight. Look at that Epipremnum pinnatum. That's going all the way up. That is easily 30 meters tall. That's insane, yo. I believe this may be some form of Dracaena. And look at those bed of Costus there. They have really beautiful chubby leaves. And the flowers, they're quite something. There are these plants with these beautiful leaves. Look at this. I think this leaf is going to push out on itself soon as it unfurls. That's at least my feeling. Really, really interesting. And the flower is quite amazing. It's just growing out of that stem. And they look so nice in a bed like this. And there are lots of these terrestrial orchids here in their square container pots. None of them are in bloom yet, unfortunately. This is a massive display of orchids. Some tillandsias. There are some bromeliads here as well for accent. This is getting partial shade, so it's get a little bit of direct sunlight, and there's actually some of the information for each species. The flower actually looks nice, but I don't see any of them in flower now, so I can't really point to any of them specifically. And there are 6,000 orchid species And a wide variety of them can be found here in Indonesia. They also do hybridize in nature easily. Yeah, no flowers, sorry. And here's a close-up of that heliconia. Really interesting. Look at the leaves on the heliconia. It's split, probably split by violent wind. Sometimes when they get sloshed around, they can split and break, just like the banana leaves, and they are in the banana family. This is a really beautiful fern. Look at how big this is. Massive. Notice a really interesting fern here. It's actually quite big. Look at that. Beautiful leaves, and it's got spores. So this is telling me that this is a fern species, and it's grown just out of the ground. Really, really nice. Alright, so the last few clips that you saw, there was supposed to be the orchid garden for the public. Really disappointed that they didn't open this up for the public. I mean, at least you could have some guides here for tour guides and things like that. But these are, I guess, for research only. But it's done so beautifully, it's such a shame. Alright, so when I was walking in here, I did see that there were some banners that are an orchidarium and taman obat, which means a garden for medicinal plants, are open. And I looked at the map again. It's the building that we were not allowed to enter before. So that wasn't even open to public. So I don't know why they even bothered announcing that they have that now. You know, and people who really wanted to come in here and look at some orchids or learn about, you know, medicinal plants, they can't. I mean, I was willing to get a guided tour or some information on how to enter, but it was just closed. I'm really, really disappointed. Tell me what's up with that. I'm in this walkway now. Look at this massive fern and this alocasia. And the fern is clearly winning. It's so much bigger. How pretty. And this is just the jungle vibes here. Very, very nice to kind of forget about the city for a little while. So back there, if you see that greenhouse, that's supposed to be the Nepenthes exhibition, but it's closed. Look at that. So this is the walkway to enter, and it says that it's under maintenance. I actually asked a lot of staff where the location of this exhibit was, and nobody knew what I was talking about, and I found it, and it's under maintenance. And looking at the map, that is probably the Taman Arasiai or the Aeroid garden. I don't see anything in there. That is so surprising, considering that just a few kilometers from here, there are lots of growers of really cool Aeroids from all over the world, from Indonesia, from South America, and this place couldn't get it together. Yeah, this has to be it, because on the map it's either on this side or on this side, and I don't see any buildings here. So yeah, that is the Aeroid greenhouse that is closed and not in use. So I'm walking back to my car. I had planned 5 hours here, but I have to cut it short to 2 hours because there was nothing else to see. A bit disappointed. I guess what I saw online was true. 99.9% of the people that are here for, you know, just a picnic, just to take selfies, which is good. This place is pretty well maintained for that, actually. This is a good public park, but I would not call this a botanical garden by any means. Sorry. I have been to some really good ones, you know, in Singapore, and shout out to Kirsten Bosch Botanical Garden in Cape Town. And there's so many more that I want to visit in the UK, in the US. But yeah, I don't really recommend this one for now, unless they do figure things out and make some major changes. I would not put this in your destination list. Alright, thank you for watching. I'm sorry that I ended with such a negative note. I'm not normally like this, but I was expecting to learn something and to discover something in this trip. But yeah. Alright, take care guys. Bye.